Ooh, child. Ooh, child. Listen, come on in here, people. Get in here. Get in here. Because, well, the best thing, the best thing for me is when people think they're doing something and we find out that they're not. When the children think they're doing something and we find out that they're not. Grateful you have YouTube, right, Kelly? Hey, Jax. Hey, Sierra. Yes. They think that they're doing something they are not. I really think it. Well, I don't know who it was. It might have been that what's his name that kept trying to report the one that came in there trying to talk mess and call me a pagan. But I don't care because I said what I said, and given any opportunity, I'm gonna say it again. So this is really a continued conversation. You dropped the link in Discord. Okay, thank you. This is really a continued conversation from the live in which we were talking about varying topics, honestly, but one in particular, a sister woman thanked me for being transparent about my bisexuality because her partner previously was not, or her ex was not. Um, and so another sister woman in the comments, I believe, brought up safe spaces, safe spaces, and why a lot of folks don't come out of the closet. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Kiara. Hey, Chani. Hey. And so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that again. Now. I want to talk about that again now while I got time, because I do have a session here in about at 11. I have a session. But I want to talk about that here and now. Here and now, I promise to love faithfully, faithfully. Your love is all I need. So I know we just finished with Pride Month. I didn't go to no Pride parades or nothing. I'm not typically a parade person, but if I do go to a function, I like to have a outfit. And I didn't have it planned out. I didn't do nothing. So I stayed my tail home. Okay. I definitely stayed my tail home. But these types of conversations continue to come up. And I know it is in particularly a very sensitive topic when it comes to the Black community, where we talk about gay people, queer people, bisexual people in particular, as that's what the part of the LGBTQAI plus I represent is the B. Okay. And why don't people come? Why do we have closeted folks? Well, that is a multi-level reason. One stemming from initially environment. And get the pan people. Okay, I got you, pan people. Come on, pan people. Come on, they the PPs. We love the PPs. Okay. Um, Environment. The best way that I can respond to this, or rather, how can I say not respond? That's not the word I'm looking for. The best way I can correlate this is to spiritual practices right now. Why is it that you are not open to walking around your Christian family members with your crystals on? Why is it that you got to deconstruct your altar in your house when your parents or your family come by? Why is it that you show up on social media Christian, but are very non-Christian and spiritual to yourself? Why is that? Because it is not safe. It doesn't feel safe to you to show up, to live, to express, to communicate in your truth. It does not feel safe. And you do not have the support system for you to feel safe. All right? You do not have the support system for you to feel safe. And so it is much easier for you to just appear Christian, even though when it get down to you being right there actually in the church, you don't really be doing all the stuff that you're supposed to do. You end up stepping out on the faith and cheating on the faith with your African practices because it's not safe. This is an analogy that correlates directly to why, a part of the reason why gay people, bisexual people, queer people do not come out, and they choose to instead live a life where they don't have to confront that, where people love them, where people accept them, where they can still be in community with others. Just like the reason why you do that with your spirituality. Because, there's a lot of pastors, oh my goodness, who know truths, but because their money and their finances are attached to this, come on, because their status and their purpose are attached to this, because it's all attached to it. They would much rather remain. ZDR says, may I join the conversation? Oh, okay, ZDR. This is concerning though, because I don't know who are you? Do you follow me on TikTok, ZDR? Because I be nervous about dropping the link and people coming up here and they be going crazy. So I don't know. I don't recognize you. But there's so many pastors who are sneaking in, hear this, who are sneaking in spiritual things into their Christian relationships, into their Christian doctrine, that make people go, you acting a little funny. Absolutely big fan. Okay, now I'm gonna drop this link here. ZDR, don't be on here being crazy. I don't know. I'm gonna drop this link, so we gonna keep you in prayer that you do the right thing. Okay. Make sure you have your camera and stuff on. They sneak in. Hey, Lenore. They just had a pastor admit this last week. This is what I'm saying. Y'all are in the closet. That's in the closet. Just had a pastor admit that they sneaking in spiritual practices into their Christian relationships. In the same way that women are recognizing that there may be some non-typical heterosexual, or rather non-typical heterosexual things going on. And they're like, there's something in the middle. But it's the same correlation. It's not a safe environment. And so we're not going to act like people don't already know how to, how do you say? We're not going to act like people don't already live one way, all right, and know the real truth. We got ZDR here. Let's go ahead and add ZDR up. Hold on, y'all. Jax, what? Jax, you can't trust them.
Can't trust them.
You can't trust them.
I was in there trying to mute and block. When his camera went off, I was like, here we go. Here we go. It's coming.
It's
It's coming.
it's coming. I said it's coming. Because at first I was like, okay. And then I said,
And
wait a minute. And then it switched. I should have. Let's another day listen to your Ori because I said,
I was typing, this is not a come up moment. This is him talking, teaching. You can comment. And right before I got ready to push send, you were like, I'm going to drop the link. I was like,
God dang it, Jax. Never again. Now I gotta go back and edit and crop it out. I had to kick him and ban him. Busy. I should have known. I should have known right there.
Should have.
I said, but you know what? That's why I said, just like the lady, you can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them.
You can't trust them no more.
You can't trust them. We be trying to have conversations. Well, but Jack, since you up here, and you are someone that actually is decent, okay,
right.
and you live the L experience, right?
Yes.
So you grew up. What was the religion that you grew up a part of?
Seventh-day Adventism.
7-day Adventism. Good God.
Yeah.
So when did you discover or come to the realization of that you were lesbian?
Well, little kids always get into mischief. And we were watching a show. I don't even remember. I want to say it was Grease, but I wasn't sure. I don't really remember. But that's the video that comes to mind. And everybody was like Googling over the guys. And I was like, don't nobody see the girls in the mini skirts dancing? And everybody just kind of turned and looked at me. And I was like, oh, this isn't normal.
Dear God.
Right. Or we'd be in the locker rooms and the girls would want to run out in their short shorts, because I was very athletic back in the day. And while everybody was on the field trying to watch the boys, I was trying to be in the locker room.
Right.
And it would always be this awkwardness, like, what do you think about his body? And I'd be like, I don't. Like, I don't. I like yours though, but
right. And then I'll be weird.
Right. So I learned very young that it was inappropriate, but I didn't want to say anything because of man shall not lie with man, woman shall not lie with woman, which is out of context, but I didn't know any better because that's how I was raised. And I was scared of hell and wanted to make Jesus proud. So I tried to pray away the unclean spirit, the unnatural this, and the perversion of my mind, spirit, and soul. But I was a little girl when I realized something was amiss.
There was something in the middle.
Something in the middle.
It was something in the middle. Well, and that's exactly it. The fear of hell. They put that at such a high moral standing, a high moral ground that this is like the worst possible thing that you could do. And I think why it, is so bad or feels so bad is because if you lie, you're a liar. If you cheat, they was cheating on people all the time. Okay. If you stole, yeah, you a thief, was whatever. If you kill, some people kill folks because they had to, right? But if you are gay, if you are in that category, it's not just a sin, it's an embarrassment.
Yes.
It's an embarrassment. And so now the parents are like, what did I do wrong? And so as a child, you're thinking like, I don't want to like upset my parent. Then my parent starts to feel bad about themselves. And now they think they did something wrong. And now they're like, you had to have been molested. Somebody else. And it's like, and now the parents have put this emotional like weight and responsibility on you
Yeah.
Uh, Kelly says hell was and still uses weapon of mass destruction. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Ready anything you was gonna do, you was gonna you would slip and fall in there.
Yep.
You would
Flip
slip
and
and fall.
fall.
And so that fear gets ingrained, and it's so horrible. Honestly, a lot of them owe us what do they call it? Emotional, what you getting sued for in court?
Emotional distress.
Emotional distress. We sue, you know what? We sue it. We sue it at this point because the amount of emotional distress that
Hmm.
causes is just so outrageous. And to be unclean like that,
Yes.
it's like I am scum. Like I am literally like the dirt of the earth. Like I am just now what that does to the self-esteem. I mean, it shoots it all down.
They said for me it was an abomination.
Yeah.
And I
And
was like, I'm an abomination? Like, dang, an abomination?
I'm
Me?
like, there's a lot. Me? An abomination. That's what I'm saying. Like these words are so violent.
Mm-hmm.
They're so violent,
Very.
emotionally violent. They're violent words. To be an abomination, that means and that God hates it. That's one of the things that I heard in church. I'm am privileged to have not heard that type of language from my parents, but I
Mm.
heard it in church, which says God hates that. Like there's things that God doesn't like, but God hates it. To have the source, the creator, despise you like you are just ruining,
Mm-hmm.
his creation. I mean, what type of that's why the suicide rates is what they were and are. That's why you have a lot of people in the queer community on drugs
Yeah.
and who use sex as a drug,
Yeah.
as a way of coping
Mm-hmm.
and feeling something. And then there's a psychology here too. I was watching a podcast that says, if you are restricted
Mm-hmm.
growing up and you're raising young adulthood, even into adulthood, to this very purified, like you can't even wander over there.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to that freedom level,
Mm-hmm.
you lose it. You really go crazy. You
Oh
tend
wow.
to go crazy because you have been restricted from this thing, from this
Mm-hmm.
form of expression so long. It's just like it shows up like within children where they're like, don't touch that. If you touch
Yeah.
that, all, and then the kids are like,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
have to touch it. And so that shows up. Chani says, yes, afraid of bringing shame and dishonor to the family. So you feel like you just better off to live a lie. Absolutely.
And
And
then
and so that point of being like, why y'all in the closet? It's like, honestly, we trying to help you.
yeah, we respect and love you enough to deny ourselves, although in the spiritual mindset, you don't realize dishonoring yourself is dishonoring everyone. But when you're brought up with a Christian mindset and you're brought up in to reverence God and to honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, well, who is
Come
going to
on.
come out and say, I am a bona fide lesbian? Who's going to come out and say, I'm queer, I'm bi, I'm pan, I'm trans? Nobody, because
Nobody.
your ill reverence is what's going to breed your demise. It's going to shame your mother and father, who you're supposed to be honoring, and it's going to denounce God as king, as he is a jealous God visiting the iniquities. Y'all know the scriptures. And so it's like, the deck is stacked against you. I have no out. I have no way. I have no voice. I have no say. So all I have are the 10 commandments, my mother and my father. That is it. There's no place for me. There's no room for me. Anything I say goes directly against you, Lord, and
Yeah.
against my family. What say so do I have? There
Yeah.
isn't one.
There is not one. There isn't one. And you're absolutely correct. Like nobody in their right mind is going to just, I'm coming out. Nobody's going to do that. Not if it's gonna risk, and then also emotional punishment, but physical punishment as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whooped, beat, like
Yep. I had
lock.
to go to
Mhm.
the altar. We had to have a session with the deacon, the first elder, and the pastor to pray away what was in me. And I'm like, this is an occult because they take you away from the world. You're supposed to be in the world, not of it.
Yeah,
So you're in a bubble. Everyone you know practices the same, eats the same, dresses the same, listens the same, sings the same, reads the same, everything is the same. So to be different is frowned upon. Well, if I go to the outside, the world, the Gentiles, the Laodiceans, well, I'm now playing in the devil's playground,
yes,
where the world seemed more appealing to me because they had options. They had a voice. They had rights. They had a way of living that didn't match mine, but called to me. And it was like, well, you have an idle mind, or you have a reprobate mind, or the world is there to kill, steal. What do you say? The devil is here to
to
steal,
steal,
kill, and
kill, and
destroy.
destroy.
And
Yes,
I used to be like, I can't escape. Like, what if I do get out there and it's everything they say? I'm going to have no choice but to run back into the fold. So I'm
yes,
like, this is a circle of nonsense. It's nonsensical. It don't make sense. And you're saying the world is one way when the world seems like the right way, because what's going on in here ain't it. And
that
so
part.
instead of speaking out, I just left.
Mm.
I just turned my back on God, is what they said. And I just left because I'm married, had 3 kids, because a woman's job is to submit to her husband, have
Mm.
kids. Your first witness is in the home. That's your first mission, your home. Take care of your husband, cook, clean, and have kids. Be fruitful and multiply. I did it, and I'm still unhappy.
That
Get baptized, witness, sing. I did it. I'm still unhappy. Start going to Bible studies, start showing spreading the love of God, be a witness. I did it. I'm still unhappy. I did all the things and I'm still unhappy. And now I'm ruining a man's life and ruining 3 children, knowing what and who I am. But because of fear and not having enough umption or grit in myself to be like, this ain't for me, y'all got it, I'm out. I just continued a vicious cycle until I didn't. But I was well into my 30s by the time I was like, I'm out.
right, right, and that right there, man. People be like, I'm delivered, I'm this, I'm that. So
No,
you would rather somebody live and be in a relationship with someone that they know that the sexual attraction, they know that that's not them. Bring forth children, and then because it always happens, it's gonna get disrupted. It's gonna get disrupted because you can't fake for that long.
can't.
You can't. It's gonna happen. It's gonna come out. It's gonna in one way or the other.
Yep.
Even if the relationship falls apart first, and you still doing what you're doing, your children still think that you're straight. Your children still think this, and so then you're gonna have that breakdown, and you're gonna have to answer and explain that,
Yep.
especially when you have been teaching and adhering to a doctrine that speaks against who you are saying you are.
Yes. Yep.
That you have to reconcile that. So as a mother, Jax,
Mhm.
how did you navigate that with your children?
It was no small feat. When your children come to you and tell you, I'm going to live with dad because your ways are against the Lord. I love you, but you're living a life of sin.
Mm.
That I told you that. I taught you that. I brought you up in that. And
Mm-hmm.
to then take their little minds to be like, everything I taught you was a lie. And I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Um, I'm going to let you have your emotions. So I let them say and do as they felt
Right.
because the onus is on me.
Right.
I brought you in this world. I brought you into a fold that I knew wasn't right, and I lied. So your anger is not misplaced. Your anger solely lies with me, and I will take that. So I let them go through it, and I just kept being true to me. I kept
Yeah.
living. I kept living. When they would ask questions, as tough as they were, I answered honestly.
Yeah.
Answers that I didn't know, baby, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. When it came to religion, it's not for me. But if that is where you are and that gives you peace, then you do that. I will support you. I will even attend with you. I don't believe, nor will I ever. But if that's where you are, okay. I kept living, kept growing spiritually, kept studying. Next thing I know, here come my children. Yeah, I don't believe. I was just waiting for somebody to get it. They already knew. But because of the same fear that I was going through and the same shame that I went through, they weren't trying to go through it. But because they had an example and because I finally grew from the bull, they were
Mm.
now able to say, I don't want to go. I don't believe. Something don't make sense. And now they're into spirituality as I am, but it took probably 2 years of like harsh realities, having their grandmother, the woman that raised me, and their dad in their ear. Don't let your mama influence you. Don't let her sin seep into your life. Don't let her affect you negatively. If she wants to go to hell, you have to be strong enough to stand for the Lord. We're in the end times. These are the battles that you
Mm.
fight. It was tough, but I just kept going. Nights I've cried and cried and cried and begged and pleaded to whom I don't know, the universe at the time, I guess. But I was just like, just give me strength, because if I go back, I'm gonna die. And I know
Mm.
if I go back, I'm gonna die, whether it be natural causes or the unaliving of myself. I'm not gonna make it out. And so I
Mm.
cried my way out of it, talked my way out of it, read my way out of it, and probably a year later, I stumbled upon you. And you were talking about the very things that I was going through. And I was like, who is this little blackhead, bald head man on TikTok preaching? And
Mm-hmm.
the rest is history. And here I am now, married for almost 4 years to the love of my life, Dr. Quarles. And I'm an entrepreneur of my own business, Raw Flow Energy. Uh, and pretty much all of our kids live with us. Her kids left their dad.
Mm.
They all dwell in our abode now and have grown from the BS, not because of what we've indoctrinated them with, because we didn't, but because of our life. We never
Yes.
sat them down and tried to proselytize. We just simply lived our authentic lives, and they could
Yes.
see the difference between what peace doesn't look like and what peace really is. And that spoke alone. I didn't never have to sit down and be like, Jesus isn't real, don't believe in the Bible. I didn't have to. When
Yeah.
peace, when you live peace, it shows. And people always say, what is it that you do? What do you practice? Well, from my mentor, they taught me peace of mind, and that's what I
Yes.
practice.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Jax. I'm gonna make this a soundbite. Just going straight on TikTok. It's going straight on TikTok, Jax, because that right there answers the question, not just for parents who may be of a queer experience and need to come out to their children in that way, but parents who are formerly super Christian or formerly in whatever religion and now have a different understanding. It's gonna be hard, period.
Yep.
It's not gonna be easy. They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna push back. That's just it. But
Yes. Yes.
the endurance is that it should be your focus,
Yes.
because at not one point, and Jax, you said it so well and with the gravitas it needed. If I went back, I would die. I would die. I would die by natural causes, or I would unalive myself. I would die.
Hmm.
And that right there, I would rather them be pissed at their mama than not
Yes.
have one.
Yes.
And so that's it. The endurance developing, and your endurance comes by way of, you said you read your way through it, you prayed your way through it, you did by your practices. Your practices helps
Yep.
you to keep the endurance, the
Yes.
ability to move forward. But at no point should you sacrifice truth for
No.
comfortability.
Never.
Come on. At
Never.
no point should you sacrifice truth for comfortability.
Yep.
And so you just helped, I'm telling you, just with that experience and what you said, not trying to indoctrinate the children, but being the example. We
Yeah.
were taught that such a long time ago, be the change you want to see.
Yes.
And the children, we have to trust that the children have a brain, the children have a ori, they got their spirit team, and their spirit teams are going to highlight the
Yeah.
differences.
Yeah.
I had made a video. It's so wild because I made a video on TikTok before I got on live, before them raggedy.
We gonna monetize, okay? We ain't gonna
we
let
we
that.
want to monetize this. Before they reported me, and I said it was the proverb came out from the Ancestor Oracle deck. If y'all ain't got it, what's wrong? From the Ancestor Oracle deck. Come on, Jax. Jax has it right there, ready and available. All monkeys can't hang from the same branch.
Mm-hmm.
And what I said was, you have to be willing to let the spirit, the universe, God, whomever, differentiate you. You have to be willing to
Yep.
let the divine differentiate you. You have to be willing to live in your unique self and your unique expression. You got to be willing,
Yes.
because that is so critical. It's so important. You have to be willing to be different in your household. Come on.
Yes. Yes.
Come on. You
Yes.
have to be willing to be different in your household. But you have to have the endurance enough to, and well, then let me ask you this. Even though you didn't have it all figured out, right? And are still figuring out, as we all are. What was the central understanding that you knew was true that you were able to ride off on? What was that central understanding?
At that time, I knew that I was unhappy where I was, but something in me knew the grass was greener on the other side. I just had to
Mm,
get there.
gotcha.
I had to get there. Once I got there and saw that it indeed was greener, there was no turning back. But the fear of the unknown has crippled me, whether it be in religion, whether it be in school, whether it be in life.
Mm-hmm.
But the unknown is always where your best come up is. The unknown is where your best enlightenment is. The unknown is where you find yourself. I may have lost my family of origin. I may have lost my church family. I may have lost friends, but I gained everything in that loss. And in the unknown, I found who the Jax was. And that means more to me than anything is self-awareness.
Yes. Yes, Jax. And so what I can deduce from what you said was, it was, I knew that I wasn't happy.
Yes.
And y'all, that's enough. That right there is enough. If you ain't know what to call it, what to figure out, what to go to, you know that what you have been doing ain't it.
Working.
It's
Yeah.
not it.
Yep.
You are unhappy, and that's enough. You don't have to have all of the answers. You have to have one answer, and that's that.
Yep. Get out.
Get out. Whatever it is, I know that this cannot be it, because this is not giving
Nope.
what it's supposed to have gave. It's not giving that.
Yep.
I know that, and I think that that's often the thing for that I've realized when it comes to people. When you have that realization, No matter how big or how small it is, y'all, that inkling, that's your intuition that says, hey, don't go over there to Keisha house.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that. Hey, you need to do this. And we end up staying because we think we deserve to know why right then.
Yeah.
We think we need to know why. We need to know the full thing, what it is, how it's going to pan out. But I come today to tell everybody, and Jax, I think you can agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot control the process.
No, you shouldn't want to.
You shouldn't want to. You shouldn't want to control the process. And that's where people, I think, get caught up.
Yeah.
And they don't grow, they get stuck, and they windmill because you are trying to control the process.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it. When you said, Spirit, assist me, you're letting the Spirit take you through the process.
Well, yeah, right before I left and divorced and did all the things, I was like, Jesus, Father God, it's
Yes.
me, and I come humbly. I prostrate myself. I am in the valley of decision, and I don't know where this is going to lead. But I need a sign from you. If I am to stay with this man, course correct, you need to let me know now,
Yeah.
because I know what I'm about to do, and I am not trying to break up two happy homes for a love lust. And I waited. Then this thing just kept like just on my back. So one day I got up and I was like, universe, I am in love with this woman, and I know where my heart calls me to.
Yes.
But I don't want to think with my heart. I want to think with my mind. If you would allow me a chance to live out something that I know is within me,
yes,
I won't let you down. 8 months later, we were together.
Come on.
And I've
Come
never
on.
back.
Come on, Jax.
So I'm still waiting on Jesus. I'm just saying. But the universe delivered.
The universe delivered. And it's true. You know it has to be true because of the wellness that has occurred thereafter.
Yeah.
You know that it is true because you see your children being able to navigate life with tools.
Yes.
Being able to process things.
Yeah.
And feeling free.
Yes. Yes.
You know it's true. You know it's true because because of the condition of your life. Even when you were going through a hard process.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, however hard it was, you can now see every time it works out. You see why. You see what the purpose was. It wasn't no punishment. It wasn't nothing of that nature. It was a process.
Yeah. It gave me a way out to have accountability, because when I was in the church, if I sinned or if I did wrong or I did anything, I could just cast my cares upon him, because his yoke is easy and his burden is light. So I know I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to go take communion. I'm going to lay at the altar. I'm going to lay at his feet.
Yes.
Well, when I stopped going to church, if I did wrong, there was nobody to ask for forgiveness except the person I did it to, and then course correct.
Yes.
That was a harsh reality. Accountability is ghetto as, but very necessary. And I'd rather have accountability than 10 commandments that he himself doesn't even abide by, because you can't say thou shalt not kill, but say that oh boy slain 10,000, Solomon thousands, and King David his 10,000s, and in the name of the Lord I smite thee. Make it make sense. You can't say that thou shalt not commit adultery when the man after your own heart, i.e. David saw Bathsheba on the rooftop and slept with her and killed her husband Uriah in battle. You can't say thou shalt not lie when Rahab the harlot lied to save his people. You just can't do that. 1 plus 1 does not equal 4. Therefore, I rather have accountability, because what I said is what I said. And if I am in the wrong, I, the same person who did the offense, who made the unjust judgment or the error, has to come back and admit fault and make it right without a savior. I am my own savior. I am my own grace. I am my own redemption. And that is on nobody's back but my own. Okay, I'm done.
We seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. We'll be back shortly. Allegedly.
My wig is gone. My wig is gone, Jax. Let me lift up the veil. No lies are told. No lies are told. The contradictions, yes, abound. Abound. I love the fact that you spoke about accountability. I love that, because you're so right. When Jesus is the Savior, that's all you got to do. Even at the end of your life, as long as you say real quick, I accept Jesus in my heart.
Yeah. The 11th hour conversion, like the people on the cross who lived a life of sin. And then he said, on this day, you will be with me in heaven. How?
How, Sway?
How? Because if that's the case, I'm living a life full of sin. I'm running amok. And right before I take my last breath, I'm going to kiss the nurse and pray and go to heaven. That's my life story. It doesn't make sense, but you walked with the people back in the day. So in my mind, why am I such a wretch that you could physically manifest to them, but ask me to have blind faith and believe in you, but you won't even show yourself to me? I am literally begging. I am literally crying, asking for help, asking you, can I touch the hem of your garment? But because I am a lesbian, I am unworthy. But here go these fools over here who are more worthy than I. My 99, their 99 sins against my one makes me unworthy.
The math ain't mathing. Literally, it's not mathing.
It ain't.
There is no way that you could add all of this up and my one is still more than theirs. The math doesn't math.
No.
It doesn't math. And that's the thing. When you go back to the indigenous, the animistic beliefs and practices, the ancestors understood that the spirit, God, the universe, whomever was in all things, and because it was in all things, you treated all things well, you loved all things, you took care of all things, and that was it. When you did something that harmed someone, you were harming God, thus harming yourself.
Yep.
If you did something to harm nature, you were harming God, thus harming yourself.
Yep.
So you were to do no harm.
No harm.
That's it.
Simple. Simplicity.
So being in a loving marriage, meaning a union of agreements to which you and your wife have decided to keep amongst yourselves, and raising, how many children y'all have?
8.
8 children who have tools, who are growing, who have their own spiritual relationship, their spiritual connection, who feel as though they have a safe space to speak, to live, and be, who feel like they can come and talk to their parents about anything. I have yet to see the harm here.
There is none.
There
And
is none.
if you were to meet, for those who don't know me personally, if you were to meet my wife and I, you would not only see, but you would feel the love. And I stand on that.
Yes. Yes. You would feel the love. You would feel the love. And it is. And I have witnessed, let me tell you something. I watch. And I have witnessed how they put their heads together. Both Jax and her wife, Ivy, they put their heads together to solve issues. They don't go at things ego first. They
No.
do their best to put that to the side and look at things. And if they are incorrect about how they approach something with their children,
Yeah.
if they are, they will apologize and course correct it.
Because kids are not robots. You don't want mini yous. They're human first. Hear me. They are
Yes.
human first. Your child second.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. If you want little robots, then go get a robot. Go get a dog. Go get something that you can command and control at will. And even they have a mind of their own. Your
Yes.
child is a human. They have their own wants, their own brain, their own mind. Their life is not yours to live. It's theirs and theirs alone. You are
Yes.
here to simply guide. That's it. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to parent, or if you find yourself struggling, ask your child what a mother is to them. Ask your child what a father is to them. Listen and learn. And when they tell you something hurt, admit that to them, I'm struggling, not a justification, but here's what I was thinking when I did this. But I will correct it, and I'm sorry. It is never my intent to hurt you, but I understand that my intentions do not supersede the impact of my actions and what they had on you. It is crappy at times because you'd be like, didn't I tell you? But it makes a difference. I'd rather have a relationship with my children than have subjects.
Jax, elucidate on that, please.
Subjects are people that are beneath you, peasants, miscreants, people that run the streets and just have no whatever. But when you rule with them, I say, do what I said because I said so. You're the child. I'm the parent. I don't have to explain myself. It never works. It didn't
Yeah.
work with me because I don't give a
Mm-mm.
what you said. I'm Jax and I'm going to do what I want. And when I get home, I will assume the position. Get your little anger out on this backside, and tomorrow I'm still going to do what I want to do.
Let's be clear.
You can't control. You really can't. What they do is fear you. You don't
Mm.
want a child to fear you. You want a child to love and respect you. How do you do that? By simply leveling with them. Let them know you are human. I am human. I don't know it all. There is no book. You can read what to expect when you're expecting, and you're going to expect a fool is what you're going to expect because no child is the same. But
Yes.
level with your children, baby. We don't tell our kids no. Let me explain. We'll say, this is what I would advise. This is what I've lived through. So
Yes.
tell me why what you want to do, or tell me what you did to you, how that made sense.
Yes.
If they can come with some logic and it makes sense, I see that. Can I give you a different perspective? Talk
Mm-hmm.
to them like they are human, not what did I tell you? Have you lost your mind? What the doesn't
Yeah.
work. I talk to them, relationship. Therefore, they don't come to me, Mama, I'm so sorry I did. They don't do that. They're like, Mom, I messed up. I effed it up. Let me tell you what happened. And we laugh about it. Did you learn your lesson? Experience caught up with you. Life handed it to you. All right. What we going to do next time? What did you learn from this? Okay, we talk. I don't want subjects. I want love and respect. I want a
Yes.
kindred relationship with them. And that's what we've formed, much to my chagrin at times, because they tell me things I do not care to know. But
Yes.
I taught them that way. But now I can protect them more than I ever could because we have a relationship, not their friend. I will not ever support in life being friends with your children.
You know what, Jax? At this point,
No, I won't.
Jax, take it over, Jax.
No,
This
I
your
don't want to
show.
think. No.
This your show. Teach. You said you will not ever support being friends with your children. Why not, Jax? Why can't you be friends with the kids?
Because there has to be a level of respect, parent to child.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You will beat your friend up, cuss your friend out, run your friend through the ground. You will do a myriad of things to a friend. Friendships can end.
Yes.
But a bond with your child, should the parent, the onus is on the parent, should the bond with the child be there, that should never be broken. It is not your child's responsibility to start a conversation, to check on you. You brought them in. That is on you. So you check your kids. You love your kids. You talk to your kids. You follow up with your kids. But being a friend, no, we're not finna be in public and we finna, oh girl, hey, talking to me any kind of way crazy. No, we're just not gonna do that. But you set the precedence for that. We can talk all day, we can share stories, we can kiki and laugh, but I'm not your friend. Don't get it twisted.
Yes.
I
Yes.
just I don't see
Because
when you
there's still a boundary. There still has to be a
yes.
boundary. You know, again, like you said, you will cuss your friend out, but you're not finna do me that. You not
I can't show what I want to show.
Yeah, I know, Jack. I already got to edit one clip out, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
because there has to be a boundary.
I can't see the comments, but can y'all see Darcell? Is he gone? Is it my video that's tripping? Okay, he said his laptop died and he's telling me to talk. Okay. While he gets his charger, he's texting me. Okay. Uh just love on your kids, y'all. Love on your kids. Be there for your kids. Support your kids' dreams, hopes, wishes, goals, ambitions. Go hard for them, because if you don't advocate for them, then who? Then who? And that's nobody else's job. Stop leaning so heavily on the educators of this world, because you'll be crying later about what the school system influenced your kids as, when you have the ability and the influence first. Be your child's first teacher. Be your child's first superhero. Be your first child's champion. Don't allow somebody else to fill that space, because if they fill the void that you created in them, you're going to hate what they turn out to be later, if they fall in with people who are, low vibrational individuals. So be there. Parenting is not easy, but it can get easy if you put in the work. And I by no means have all the answers, but what I can say is what we have put into our children has worked out flawlessly. We get praised everywhere we go for their behavior, scholastically and personally. Prior to my wife and I getting together, them children didn't stand a chance. They didn't stand a chance. And that was partly because we were living a lie. And it didn't fare well. But the work that we've put in now has made all the difference. And I stand in awe of my wife. I will hold that woman down to the ends of the world. She is a true gem and a queen to be revered, adored, and put on a pedestal. And I appreciate her daily for how she mothers, for how she works, for what she stands for who she is. And that's a person that I'm deserving of. When you come out of the BS, you realize what you're deserving of. I could have never said I deserve something before. I could have never done it. But now I know what I deserve, because I know what I'm worth. And for those of y'all that are in the Lighthouse and we're in the Patreon, if your creator created you and they have faith in who you are because they created you, having faith in yourself shows them gratitude. Gratitude not so much in saying thank you, but how you live, how you show up, how you speak, how you talk, how you love, how you work. Everything you do should be singing gratefulness because of who you are. You guys are amazing. Some of you I know, some of you I don't. But y'all all are deserving. I don't have to know you to know that you're worth it. I don't have to talk to you to know that you're worth it. You're worth it because you have air in your body. All right, I did it. Go ahead.
Good job, Jax. Thanks for child. My laptop died. I was like, dear God, I gotta run down there. So I somebody said right in the comments, Jax, when are you doing the divine parenting class?
How
Put
you
that
cut
on the
that camera
agenda.
off?
Now see, the last time this I cut the camera off, it went downhill. Okay, Jack, so you need to put that on the agenda. We have different perceptions of friendship. If your child can qualify for that level of respect or vice versa. Well, but that's the thing, everyone parents, they parent in their own way, and their views and their perspectives are the same. However, I definitely agree with you, Jax, when you talked about the boundaries. You gotta have them. You gotta have the boundary because it's gonna get what? Out of control. It's gonna get out of control real quick. Real
Because
quick.
you'll go clubbing with your friends, you'll drink and smoke with your friends, you'll get in the bed and get jiggy with it next to your friend. I'm not doing that with my child. Cause we're friends, right? We gonna share the stories, we're gonna do the things. I'm not, in what world? No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I can understand that. That would be I would be horrified. I would be horrified.
Just
And
going and
there's
take me.
listen, and there's just some conversations that I just don't want my parent to have with me. I don't want to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
because also too, we have to be mindful because there are some parents, especially those who are single parents and or who have
Mm-hmm.
lost their spouses or things of
Yes.
that nature, who will really make their child their emotional
Yeah.
spouse,
Yes.
their
Yes.
energetic spouse.
Yes.
And so we have to look out for that because I had a relative of mine, honey, who she, would be going to the club with her kids. The problem is her kids was 18 and she was like 51. So you twerking next to your kids at the club on the men. It just no. See, at that point, you're trying to fulfill something. This is out of order. There is no way me and there's no way the mama and the daughter should run the risk of having the same man and being 30.
Like I was with Joe. Yeah, me too. Wait, what he have on? A green shirt, blue pants? Girl, yes. Oh, child. Mama, you was getting it, baby. Was you getting it? Could you imagine?
The way every cell in my body will unalive itself. Every cell would just end. Every cell in my body would end. I was, okay. So then I'm gonna tell this story. This is messy, and then we're gonna go.
Okay.
So I was watching. I don't know. Was it no? Oh, it was one of them radio shows where they call in and they talk about their problems.
Mm-hmm.
Child, this woman who's a mother to daughters who are like in their 20s, right?
Okay.
Um, and they're like mid 20s, and she's like late 40s, right? She's a doctor, very successful. Her children are very successful. Her daughter was getting married, and therefore they're planning to get married, or rather they just got married, and so they're having their house built, so they were staying with her.
Come on.
And so very good, right? And so both sets of her daughters, like both of her daughters were staying there with their husbands, right? Because they were just all in transition at that time.
That's a
And
lot.
so well, the way that the mama described it, she said she was just in one of those moods and she ended up sleeping with her daughter's husband. She said she didn't anticipate it. It was just something that happened. But it happened more than once. And then on the maybe third time, the the husband of the other daughter caught them. Caught them. Dropping it low and spreading it wide. He was like, this is effed up. I'm going to tell them everything like that. And then the mama goes forth and approaches him. And she has sex with him. She has sex with him. And now, therefore, she's calling in to ask for advice because now she's pregnant. Dear God! Now she's pregnant. I know, James. I know. What? I would have been on the phone
wait,
like,
that's her grandma, daughter, stepdaddy, uncle, sister, daughter. What? How do you? Somebody get Kentucky on the phone and have them explain this to me.
Listen, at this point, not Kentucky, I'm hollering. So basically, they sister wives. I hope the daughters jumped her. Well, that's what she was calling. And the radio host, not I hope the daughter jumped her. Listen, for me, the radio host one was like, girl, I don't know what to tell you. You is fucked up. Like, this is horrible.
What did you?
Girl.
I ain't got nothing to say. I don't know.
I don't have nothing to say besides you dead wrong. There's no advice to give you on this matter.
Never mind. I can't even say it because I don't want you to.
Go
something yourself.
Right.
Just
wait, not my sister mama is my grandma. Because I'm just trying to think. Like the grandma, yeah, my sister's mama is my grandma.
Yes. So that is her stepsister daughter.
Like what?
That's messed up.
But
it's gonna be a normal baby because there's no
crossing. But you've ruined this. There's no way to recover from that. One, there's two things that's ruined. This marriage is definitely done. And my connection with my mother is definitely complete. It's complete. And so we was talking about all of this. I said, oh, I have to talk about that. And she's like this very beautiful, successful doctors. Everyone's successful. But that's another thing. When you don't got peace and you don't have peace. You don't have peace because you can't be a peace-filled person and do some stuff like that. That is trifling.
Okay. Now go to your appointment. You know I'm of time.
What time? Oh, you know what? I love you. Thank you for coming up here. Peace, y'all. Peace. Let me go end this so I can make my edits, child. All right, y'all, go forth and conquer. If you don't got the Oracle cards, me and you gonna fight. Don't worry about it. Do that. The links in the bio, in the description. Hopefully it's there. If not, update it. Refresh your page and it'll be there. I'll talk to y'all later, y'all. Peace.